Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I'm trying to see. Yeah, man. Okay. Uh, just trying to get this thing working right. See what's up. This is gonna be on for a minute. I'm gonna be on for a minute today, I think, because I want to explain a bunch of stuff. Yeah. Okay. Turn this down. All right. So I see one person in here, and on myself, I'm in here too. So, what's up? Appreciate you coming on. I'm about to get it started. Let a couple more people come in. So, it's only what Wednesday. It's Wednesday night. So, September the 15th, 2021 is Wednesday night. Um, I feel like it's the weekend because of my circumstance, but it's not. So, really, just got a low blow, man. I mean, not that bad, I think, but um, so I've been planning to go to this music festival, and it's like a camp out several days. It's gonna be Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Me and some of my people who were all going, and it's literally like we were leaving in the morning, and I took off work and everything, and they canceled it today. I just got notice a little while ago that it's canceled the day before the festival, man, and that's whack, man, because like people flying in from all over the country, it's a big deal. Probably like 40, 50,000 people is going to be there. Um, you know, I know the promoters and all the people that work there, and I have VIP packages, for the whole group, and we was all going to camp out, and it's really a drag, man, to get that news. It's because of this hurricane, I guess. Um, wow, wow, man, it really just ruined my whole plans. But so I don't know. I'm kind of struck by that right now. But um, hello, what's up, bro? What's up? Hey, we still need to go on, man. And one day when you get a chance, man, and uh, if you want to come on and talk about that whole thing with that little method that you discovered about broadcast, I know there's a lot of different ways to expose broadcast, and um, when there should be some, it should be like a group of people that understand this stuff, really trying to put together the scientifics of it and things like that to try to make it more official. And as far as like the people that talk about all the, oh, you're delusional, or those people, like, we don't even care about them anymore. Um, those people are starting to look kind of stupid coming out and saying all of this stuff. Like, I had a guy yesterday, and he comes on to my one of my posts, and he's like, "How many times do I got to tell you it's quantum physics, nanobots, chatterbots, and all this stuff?" And I'm like, just get lost, bro. Like, I mean, I don't even care to respond to you. I just blocked him because, like, I don't care anymore. We know what's going on, and we know what's going on. I mean, and that's it. And people that want to keep coming on with that, all of that propaganda, they can get lost with that, man, because it's over with. And now the ones who are looking stupid is the people who try to come on with all that propaganda, and that's exactly what it is. Yeah, yeah. That little discovery you made, I think, is pretty significant. And you can hit me up if you ever want to come on and discuss that whole thing, and I could talk. It could be like about EMF broadcast, and I could talk about some of the ways that I've learned to expose the broadcast, um, and I've also been looking into some other methods that I think I won't talk about that too much right now. What I do want to get into, now that I got a few people in here, got different people hitting me up every day. Still, like inbox stays full with new people that are starting to experience this whole thing with what they always call V2K. Artificial telepathy is part of EMF broadcast, which is a satellite broadcast system, and it's all neural monitoring. And there's a lot of different aspects to this whole thing with this technology. Um, Appreciate that, bro. I'm always trying to come up with something, but I got some things in my mind that I think will really work well. But um, let's have to wait and see what happens with all of that. But people need to understand the basics, right down to the whole thing. And this is really what it boils down to is we're all on neural monitoring. People that people that are gang stalkers, people that just have access and use it for whatever reason they do, targeted people, and then the masses of billions of people who don't even know that it exists. We're all on neural monitoring. And I believe before you're even born, that this satellite broadcast system can pick up your frequency. Like when you're inside your mother, I believe that this satellite broadcast system can pick up your frequency. And people need to be aware of this. People need to be aware of this is happening because when millions of people start filing into this whole thing with awareness and understanding, then the problems are going to start to be solved. Now, I don't know what's going to happen. There's definitely going to be some kind of mind control revolution with people everywhere starting to understand that it's different now and your thoughts are not safe and broadcast is a thing and it's possible that people are doing it, people are using it. Um, so somebody hit me up today and they're like, "What do I do?" Yeah, I'm doing well. Appreciate it. I hope you're doing well also. But people hit me up and they're like, "Well, what do I do?" This has started happening to me and I don't know how to deal with it. And I really don't know what to tell you. I mean, I've been dealing with this now for I've known that something was going on for like 8 years, and it's been like 6 years that they started talking to me out loud full time, and probably more than that, like 7, 8 years that they've been attacking me physically. I just didn't know what it was at first, and the hacking is a problem. They're still attacking me physically every single day. This group of gang stalkers that I deal with, they uh, put broadcast stuff all over my face. It's very disrespectful. It's painful, and it's a lot of problems really to have to deal with on a daily basis. But um, I'm working on a lot of things, so I feel like it's going to be the biggest topic, of all time. Really, this is the biggest thing that's ever happened with mankind. I can feel broadcast like kind of oozing down my face, like going in my eyebrows and stuff. And that's these idiots. They. Why would you want to do that on camera? Like while I'm on, because obviously there's going to come a time when I figure out how to isolate those frequencies and show your broadcast all over my face, and they just want to act stupid. Anyway, I'm kind of dragged about my whole thing with like I had this whole weekend planned, man. I had a we had VIP 4 day passes to this festival with like hundreds of artists, musical artists, and many thousands of people were going to be there. And we had camping set up, and I mean, I got all my stuff piled up. I don't tell people what I'm gonna do, because my situation, obviously, but there's many reasons why I try to keep things on the under. I probably would have talked about it later after it was over with, but since it's canceled, now they canceled it due to this hurricane. I can tell you guys, I was about to go on this 4 day little music festival camp out, and it was gonna be the bomb stuff, man. But it's over with. So I don't know. Everybody's having a fit here in Atlanta. Everybody's throwing a fit. Got people touching down at the airport that just found out that the festival is canceled, and people took off work. People bought plane tickets, and it's kind of expensive to go to the festival in itself. And people, all these girls got, they all got new outfits and everything, and I'm gonna wear this day and this day, and it's all canceled at the last minute. It got canceled like 2 3 hours ago, okay, and we were leaving in the morning to go there and set up camp, man. And so that's how they did that, man. Yeah, yeah, bro. I've been drinking more coffee lately. I don't know why, man, but I'm starting to be like this different person where I get 4 hours of sleep and I pop up, and I'm like, what do I need to do to make my life better? What do I need to do to handle my business? What do I need to learn today? I need to learn some stuff. I need to accomplish some things. Who do I need to call? How can I do some business? How can I make some progress? Like, it's every day, all the time. And that's what they're really turning me into, these gang stalkers. They're pushing me, and I use it as motivation. Um, so anyway, all these people that are having this just start happening, and they're wondering what to do about it. And the first thing you want to do is try to understand what's going on, and that everybody's on this, and there's a frequency. You have a frequency. You have a neurological EMF signature frequency, and the satellite system can pick that up. And as soon as it can pick that up, you're on neural monitoring like everybody else. And so, as soon as you find out that that exists, well, online, okay, somewhere online, there is a website, some kind of something that where you could find an interface linked to your neurological frequency, and that would be your neural monitoring. All right, so people that have access to neural monitoring, they've found that, or somebody gave it to them, or whatever, and it's very daunting to think about. Like, oh God, what do I gotta be James Bond to get my neural monitoring? I gotta be uh, Bill Gates or Hacker Supreme, something like that. Like, no, you don't. You are going to need some basic knowledge, but I can tell you from firsthand experience, absolute certainty, 100% fact. I know a bunch of people that have access to neural monitoring, and it can be anybody. It can be 14-year-old kids. It can be a 70-year-old person. They don't have to be tech savvy. If somebody gave them access, they could be hackers. They could be drug addicts. They could be your neighbors. They could be anybody. It could be your ex. It could be anybody you could imagine. They could have access to neural monitoring, and more people are starting to have access to it. And that's really one of the most confusing things to me, is how come nobody wants to save humanity just yet. It'll happen. It's going to happen. The revolution has begun, but it's not going to be. Uh, I don't know. It's not going to be today. I don't think so. I don't know why there's not people saying, okay, enough's enough. Maybe um, there needs to be some collaboration. And obviously, some of us that are in the state of victim, all right, we need to probably collaborate with some other people that probably have access to it, that are not gang stalkers. Because, see, it's the gang stalkers that are the problem. It's these mind control addicts that are the problem. These power hungry people, and people that want to use it in malicious ways to destroy. They use it for adultery. They use it for child custody. They use it for possession, suppression. Like if you're with somebody and and you break up with them, but they don't want nobody else to have you, and so if they got access to neural monitoring, all of a sudden you become targeted. And it's like that. It's really like that. That's really how it really is. And everything's hidden in plain sight. It's all on the internet, and you have to be able to have certain settings on, or certain filters and different things you can do with EMF broadcast technology to allow yourself to be able to see broadcast, to be able to see all of the stuff that's right in front of your face all the time, whether you're living as a human or as a broadcast at that point. And people get confused about that. So, if you are living as a broadcast, which is what gang stalkers do mainly. So they just put the mind control headset on, and then um, basically connect to and live as a broadcast, like a hologram. So, yeah, I'm sure you can find them. I already knew that they existed. Okay, they talked about it before, and at first I thought, they had them on some kind of mind control machine, and I was, because they used to mess with me about it real bad, but like in the beginning, like 2014 and 15, and they would mess with me a lot, but um, I would see the, I would see because see with broadcasts, there's different things. You They can live as a broadcast, like a hologram, and it could be like standing next to you, but and you can see that sometimes. And if they want you to see it, you can see it. You can anytime they want you to see something, they can make that type of broadcast where you can visually see it. All right, so but if they don't want you to, sometimes you still can. It just depends on certain circumstances with lighting and reflections and stuff like that. But sometimes in a reflection, you could see people where they are, like the people that are connected to you. Because let me explain how it works and why that is, because it sounds so illogical. Okay, but say say I have a something that can broadcast, right? And I broadcast some waves or whatever to wherever you are, right? And they boom, the waves are bouncing off of this glass surface right here that is reflective. It's shiny, it's glossy, it's reflective. Okay, and so those waves are hitting that surface, and then you can see me in that reflection, right? But that's a broadcast that they're broadcasting waves there, and then receiving back that frequency of that broadcast to be able to see me. So they use waves like a camera. So they broadcast waves at a certain frequency, EMF waves, and then you receive that back, and they can see the view from the waves, and the waves can formulate in a way that can give them a consistent view. All right, but there's a consequence to that for them, which is, I believe, it's unintended, but I believe that they don't have a way to stop it. So when they're doing that type of thing, and that's the type of thing when you turn on your meter, excuse me, if you turn on your like EMF detector meter or whatever, and it's normal is like 45, and suddenly they do look, I'll get to that in a second with your phones and devices and stuff, and how they put you onto their local host network and like route your service, and look in the routing tables, and you can see how they route your service through their stuff. But so if you turn on an EMF detector, um, 45 microtesla is about normal, maybe 50. 45 to 50, you could say it's normal. And you can turn it all kind of ways, and it's going to be very consistent. It's the Earth's magnetic field, the electromagnetic field. But you might all of a sudden see it might jump up to 240 or 500 or any random number really high. Okay, and that's detecting some more higher powered EMF waves, and that's when they turn on a broadcast. And when they turn on that broadcast, and they could see you off of reflections, off of any surface around you, they could see you off just off the waves themselves. If they broadcast it strong enough and like concentrate a bunch of waves in a certain area, give themselves a viewing angle of you. So it's not just they can see through your eyes, or like they can see, it's not even that. They see they can receive your mind, or in your mind perceives a view from your eyes, and in your mind it processes that, and the processing, that's what can be read, what you're processing. So then they can receive that, the system reads that, and then they can receive that, so then that's how they see what you see. But when they're seeing from a broadcast off of a surface or off of waves, they can look at you. So they could be standing next to you, like look at you as a broadcast, or they could be using broadcast to see you off a reflective surface right next to you, and that's when you'll see your meter go up a lot. All right, and the consequence to that, though, is when you look in that reflective surface, especially like dark tinted glass, curved glass works really well. Um, Lead crystal glass works very good because it causes that disbursement of the colors. So that spectrum type of thing, that prism type of thing. So when you see them like that, you see them where they are. You see the actual people who are connected to you where they are from some reflective surface around them. And it's just a unintended consequence of turning on that type of broadcast. And so that's initially how I found out about the headsets and stuff. that they wear, and and then there was a guy who was targeted, but it was targeted by the same group as the people that target me. And when I told him everything, and rather than let us team up, they gave him his, and then he tried to pretend like he was still. He tried to actually try to pretend like he was just. He's like, man, I think I was losing it. I don't know what happened. Want to come hang out or whatever. And then I caught him in my bathroom with the mind control on. All right, and he like ran out, and I really chased him out in my yard, and he ran around his truck about 3 times, and he had stuffed it in the back window, to one of them little angle windows on the back of a uh, uh, it was like an expedition or something. Those very back windows that like just pop out a little bit at an angle. It was just a little thing, it just wadded up and stuffed it in this little case. It was like a little flat case about the size of a notebook. And he stuffed it in there. And then the next time around, he jumped in his car and like was about to go at it in my yard. And like, he had borrowed it from the guys a couple houses up that had been involved with my situation forever. And, and I suspected something already because um, they had set up a little basketball goal right up the street, like halfway in between my house and their house. And then he went up there and started playing basketball with them. And, I knew right then that it was a very sketchy situation because they were like 15-year-old black kids, and he was like a 35-year-old white dude and he's not the type that hung around black people or anything like that. And all of a sudden he's up there playing basketball with them, and then comes back down here and he went in my locked himself in my bathroom. And I had already seen him going on to like neural monitoring stuff because I was peeping out the window while he's in my like sitting out back. He came over to hang out or whatever, and he's a guy I knew since elementary school, but he had became a gang stalker, and he came over here and he gave away a lot of secrets because they wanted to do these gang stalk episodes. So it was him and the gang stalker Emily was involved, and a few others, and I literally caught him with the mind control, and that confirmed it all for me right there. And since then, I've had it confirmed a few other ways, so I know for a fact that they do wear some mind control headsets. Um, so that's not something that I just a theory that I just thought of or whatever. It's something that I saw with broadcast that so then I was able to suspect that's what's going on. And then at a later date, I was able to confirm that. And do I like black people? Um, let me tell you about this whole thing. All right. So since you want to give me the opportunity, um, when I was, when all this first started, okay, they were trying really hard to turn this whole thing into a black people thing, like black people were against me or black people this, and they were talking about black people. And this guy, Black James, was the first main gang stalker on my channel, and then they started calling him Black People, like as his name or whatever. And they're like, Black people said this, Black people said that, and it's got to be this stupid thing. And then over the years, it's been something that they stay on all the time where um, these Howard Circle guys, and it's white guys mainly on my channel, and they're older, and they're not the types that hang around black people. And um, so they're always trying to make this thing, where it's black people this, black people that, and they're always saying that stuff, right? And here's the thing, right? Okay, when I was growing up, um, I played sports, and so Um, I live in the city, right? And there's a lot of black people. And then we moved about when I was 7 years old. We moved about 20 miles south of Atlanta, and then that's a big old dragonfly, bro. Hope you don't fly on. So we moved about 20 miles south of Atlanta, and it was still that was in the that was in like the early 90s, and it was still very country out there. And I played sports, so uh, in the draft for like baseball, some of those country guys out there, they didn't mess around with black people, so they didn't pick any of the black people on their team. And my dad did. He's like, okay, whoever's good, all right. So he picked up all the black people, and so our team was like at least half and half, probably more black people. And then we went on to like win the state championship and all this stuff, and all my friends were black. And when I got to be about 12 years old, moved back in with my mother because my parents had separated, and she when they separated, she was living back up toward the city, and I moved back in with her, and then started going to like middle school and all of that stuff. And my neighborhood was all black people, and my group was all black people, and there was like 20 of us, and we ride bikes around. We ride bikes 10 miles to the mall and go to the dollar movies, and I listened to like Snoop Dogg and Outkast and 8 Ball and MJG and all this rap music. And so all my friends were black. And some people say that I talk like I'm black, but I think I have like a kind of some kind of inner city hybrid type of talk. There's a little bit country sometimes too, especially to some of you guys that ain't from down south. But short answer to your question is, um, yeah, I hang around with black people. Okay, I definitely hang around white people too, and I also hang around with Mexican people, and I've started to know quite a few Indian people lately, and it's very diverse in my city. Here in Atlanta, it's very diverse, and so, but to be real honest, like a lot of my closest friends are black people, and I don't have a lot of friends, but if I had to name my all my closest friends, it'd probably be 10 people, and at least half of them are black dudes. And, but nowadays that I'm older, okay, I don't hang around people that get in a lot of trouble. I don't try to hang around people that are like thugging in the streets and acting stupid. Okay, I don't hang around people that are strung out on drugs and meth or anything like that. I don't, and that could be white people or black people. Okay, there's bad people with every type of thing. Um, there's like right now. Um, Yeah, man. I hang around black people, white people, Mexican people, and Indian people. All of the above. And I know a few Asians that I hang around too. Actually, I was hanging out with my boy yesterday who's Asian. He's from Korea, but don't know as many Asians, and that's odd because um, I actually was dating an Asian girl about 3 years ago, but she didn't want to be with somebody that had kids, and otherwise she was amazing. She had her own dental practice, her and her sister, and nice big house and very successful. But she was not interested in being with somebody that already had kids and all of that. But so anyway, but it's odd because when I was growing up here in Atlanta, we had white people and we had black people. We didn't really have that many Mexican people or Spanish people, but we had a lot of Asian people. It was like all the stores were owned by Asian people, and there was Asian people everywhere. And now there's still some Asian people, but you don't see as many Asian people as you would see like in the '90s here in Atlanta. Now um, there's a lot more Indian people, and there's a lot of black people and white people, and there's a lot of Mexican people. So, but there's still Asians around. But I guess basically, I mess with everybody, and I'm really into all these beautiful girls everywhere, all kinds, every kind, and that's just the fact of the matter, and I can't help it. Uh, yeah, we got some of everything, bro. I can go get any kind of food I want to, um, any day, anytime. So it's really a cool place to live, man. Um, I like Jamaican people. Um, that's some of my favorite people, Jamaican people. So I always get along really well with them for some reason. So I hang around some Jamaican people sometimes, but ultimately I'm a loner, and a lot of this neural monitoring stuff I really discovered on my own through experience. Um, so let me move along though. I want to talk about your devices and some of the things like that. So with this neurological frequency thing and this broadcasting, where it could pick up your frequency, and then that's linked to some sort of interface. So prior to maybe mid '90s, you would have had to be like a government agent or something to have access to this kind of thing because there was not home computers and internet. So I don't know how else you would access it. Maybe some sort of satellite equipment, but after we started to have internet, then people could start getting on it. And then the big explosion for mind control, where everybody started getting put onto Target because people were start buying and selling neural monitors like slavery, like human trafficking. That came in the late '00s, like '08, '09, 2010. Most people will tell you that's when they started to experiencing like started to experience like full blown targeting, like artificial telepathy and um, the whole coordinated effort with gang stalking, the way they could put your profile on public, and then somebody you don't even know in another state can suddenly be involved because they can just see you on their location on the neural monitoring site. So they could put you on public like that, and then it becomes a coordinated effort, and you think, oh, everybody's in on it. How does everybody know? Because they put you on public, and there's not everybody, a very small percentage, but when people around every other block, have some sort of knowledge of your whole thing, it's like they're wanting to be involved or they're doing something. Like I got people letting out smoke bombs and driving at me the wrong way down one ways with the lights off at nighttime and just stupid stuff where I know they put me on public. That's when that kind of thing starts happening, when you're not really in your neighborhood and or your area around people, and then random people start to do things to you. So we know. Okay, I know, and I hope a lot of you know by now, we've established that this whole thing, this neural monitoring thing, is online and it is available to whomever can gain access. Now, the problem is once somebody has uh, gained possession of your neural monitoring, however they obtained it, whether they bought it or hacked it from somebody or whatever, or they're just accessing it by negotiating with who does have possession of it, because somebody has your account. Somebody has your account, which is your frequency linked to an interface online that is your neurological neural monitoring. Okay, so and it reads everything. It reads everything. Now they don't. You hear this a lot about brain mapping and different things like that. Okay, and that's not what we're dealing with. Um, Maybe they have done some things to map brains or whatever. I don't know in the past, but I know the people that are connected to me all day, every day, and I've experienced many of them many times. And those people are dealing with my immediate thoughts right now, what I'm thinking right now. If they know something else, it's because I thought it before and they just know it. Like you tell me something and I'll know it. I can't unknow it. All right. So if I could bring it up later, that doesn't mean that I just dug in your memory for it. It means you probably told it to me. Maybe you dreamed about it or something. And I received it if I was a gang stalker. But um, what you're dealing with is the active thought process. Okay. Like, oh, my ear itches, right? They know that. They know that if you thought it, you can't have it happen to you really without thinking it. If you're processing it, then they can get that. So we know anyway that they're accessing this stuff online. A lot of the stuff that they do, they're living as a broadcast, and when they're living as a broadcast, they can have their device broadcast with them, a virtual device. So basically, they'll set up a virtual device with something like um, VMware or VirtualBox or Android Studio or Xcode. There's a lot of ways to create a virtual device, a virtual machine, and from there you can. It's basically a file. All right, so you got a hardware phone, all right, and that hardware phone is what it is. But you also your hardware phone only works because of the software that's within it, the coding. All right. So the file system, the operating system. And so you could take all of that and have that as a file. All right. And then you can host that online, or what they like to do is host it online or host it on um, your device. They want to host their virtual machine on your device. That way, they're broadcasted around you, they got their virtual machine broadcasted with them, but it's worthless unless they can connect with your device where they have it hosted, or they can connect with your service or your through your network that they have it hosted online somewhere and they can make that connection. So somehow or another, they're making that connection. So the big deal for us um, is to start learning network protocol is probably the biggest deal because that's one of the major things that they really need to use your hardware and your services, your networks, your they use your accounts too. They use your devices and they use your accounts. But see, that's the big flaw of gang stalking, and that's really how we can start to really dissect exactly what's going on, where they're doing all this stuff. And I've shown you guys a lot over the years with like almost 7,000 videos now. I know I took a lot of them down. I really moved about two or 3,000 of them to the membership thing, but it was too much videos, to try to dig through and find the best useful information. And I wanted this to be a good resource and something that you can reference my videos and say, well, whatever. If you just like watching me and you want to see every video, you can definitely do the membership thing still, and it's like $2 or $3. I think it's $3. But you're going to find over 1,000 videos on my channel right now, public, that are gonna give you all the information you need. I also took a couple thousand videos down just because it's very repetitive. I put them on private. I'll probably bring some back later. It's just a lot to have out there, and it was starting to clog up everything. So, um, you mean the one that I posted the other day? I believe it disappeared out of my phone, so I'd have to go back and like watch my own video and then like zoom in on each page. But no, I have not actually read that. Um, a lot of times I just don't have time for all of the things that, yeah. A lot of times I don't have time for the things like that. But I just thought it. See, this is what happens. All right, I find something like that, and I'm like, I could just save the file or I could send it to myself or anything, but it's not safe. I mean, I could do that, but it's not legit because they're just going to delete it anyway and make it disappear like it never happened. And so that's why a lot of times when I find something, before I can even look at it and see, well, was this even relevant? Boom, I'm putting it out public on my channel because that's the only way I can keep it. And see, that's what's going to happen. These idiots have done too much stupid stuff like that with my accounts and my devices and everything. So when I find the wrong thing for them, that's very important for all of us, and it's something like that gives everybody neural monitoring, and I post it right up, and just everybody in the world has neural monitoring all of a sudden, it's going to be because they wouldn't stay off of my file system. This idiot Marcus from Howard Circle deleting every other file I get. As soon as I get something, you all got it. Boom. Within 10 seconds before I can even look through it because it's the only way I can keep it. So, everything they do, it works against them. But as far as keeping them off your devices, good luck. I've had zero luck with that. They can use EMF broadcast, and it seems like that gets them right into anything, no matter what. When they're living as a broadcast, they can just get into your stuff. I haven't found any way to stop them. I think maybe using Python to write your own network security protocol, script it yourself is the only way that I think might be possible to lock everybody else out of your services and out of your phone. Your accounts are the same way. Facebook is a big deal. Instagram, Twitter, all of those. They're using like the PHP SDK and creating, custom apps, and then you got to have the app. So they're only letting their gang stalker buddies who they want to access to live streams have the apps, and then if you don't have PHP enabled, then you can't even see all of the PHP posts and everything that are on Facebook. So you might go on Facebook, and what you're seeing is the dumbed down consumer grade version of Facebook, not the true version. So if you get your local host enabled, like on like um, Apache server is what you want to do, and so that's localhost on desktop. You got to be on a desktop computer to start getting advanced with this stuff, and then your devices, your phones and stuff, are a secondary thing within your network system, and your main computer or server is going to be your main thing. So you want to get localhost enabled, where you're running a local area network that is your own private network, and that's your local host. And then from there, you can start to enable all the languages like um, PHP and stuff like that, all in your HTTP configuration file. So you need to look into these things, and you could type that in, like that type of stuff, in on my channel, and you'll find some basic information and maybe some tutorials. I'm not very advanced, but I can give you some direction with that, and then you know what's kind of what I'm getting at, and you could probably find some better tutorials from some people that are truly experts. Another thing is APIs and like background API calls, like HTTP requests and stuff like that. If you're on an iDevice like iPhone, iPad, you can run this app called Stream, and running that app, you can see all of the background HTTP requests, and you'll be able to quickly tell that they're not all yours and that there's a lot of stuff going on. So you can capture that. You can use Wireshark on desktop. And so that's a good way to capture all of your network traffic, all the packets that are being sent back and forth, run your console logs and stuff like that. You'll be able to quickly see that a lot of things are going on that you're not doing, you're not responsible for. And you'll be able to tell that these gang stalkers are doing this to you and that you're being targeted, because you'll know. Because to be honest with you, most people that are targeted have no idea, because they don't have gang stalkers stealing every file that they have. They don't have gang stalkers talking to them with artificial telepathy. They don't have gang stalkers attacking their face and their eyes, or maybe they do and they just don't realize what the pain is from or whatever. But I'm sure there's people everywhere on all sorts of psychiatric medications and pain medications for things that have to do with EMF broadcast. And sad. It's sad but true. It's sad but true. And these gang stalkers are just poison parasites to society, is really what they are. And they should be dealt with as terrorists and put on Guantanamo or something like that, because that's what they are. They're terrorists and they're parasites. And they don't have anything to offer society. They're just usury. All they do is use up everything, and they're narcissists, and they hurt people for entertainment and to make money, and they're terrorists. They're terrorists, and they assault people every day, and they think that they can own people. They're all for this thing like slavery and human trafficking, and they use it for rape and everything else. Okay, they're just horrible people, and they need to be dealt with. And there's many, many people that have access to this mind control technology, because really it is mind control. You don't have to use it that way, but like typically, or not typically, but like, okay, ideally, you connect to a broadcast, which is your broadcast. And then you live as that broadcast, and you receive, your human body is receiving back, uh, the everything from the broadcast, and like you're living as that broadcast. That's mind control. Okay. But that's the mind control, like how it should be used. All right. But what they're doing with it is connecting to each other and to people connecting to people. And basically, a lot of people are on mind control without realizing it, and it's affecting their life greatly. And if you're not, like, if you don't have a very strong mind, or if you're not very resistive to this type of thing, or if you're not very stubborn and independent, you might just be slipping right into somebody else's idealism without realizing, like, this ain't me. So society doesn't even know that. Society doesn't even know that. Uh, call it a job if you want to, bro. I don't call it a job, man. It's terrorism. They could get jobs if they know how to do stuff. Uh, I just seen that come on my screen, so I'll check that out when I get off there. Um, so yeah, it's a lot of stuff going on, but mind control is rampant. It's Everybody's on mind control, and you're going to see this mind control revolution play out, and there's going to be like hives of people that like to be connected to each other, but only um, when this whole thing pans out and everybody's doing what they're doing consensually, or at least knowingly, um, by the way of the connections that they're making. So um, but yeah, you definitely want to know about all of the HTTP stuff going on in the background. Start learning about network protocols, like what is an IP address? What is the internet? What is HTTP? What is HTML? What is PHP? What is DNS? All of these things are that's where you got to start. Okay, because there's the people that are doing this gang stalking, they're not necessarily hackers, but some of them are. Um, they start to become hackers when they do this anyway. And it's just a lot going on behind the scenes and in the coding of scripting. I've intercepted scripts that they write where it's like, come in through Kevin's router and then connect to this device and take this picture and run it through this filter and then post it here on this account on the developer side or whatever, like all this different stuff. And, you can see the process of how they're operating. And as soon as I'm able to safely go through all of the files that I've intercepted, it's going to be a hellstorm for them because it's all going to be coming out public. I also have a lot, thousands of little APK packages, which APK is an Android application installation package, but they're like an APK for them could be anything. Like just some that stick out in my mind. Like I know they had like one of them was like a little APK package, just really like a function to get past like Knox security, which is Samsung's security, or to get past like T-Mobile or Verizon, like the network securities, or like to make your screen run an infinite loading wheel while they do whatever they want to in the background while you're sitting there waiting, looking at the thing spin until they say it can stop. Like those type of little malicious hacker packages, the ones I intercepted were all APKs, which were in the Android application installation file format. Okay, but I got thousands of those, and I got lots of other stuff. The scripts that they write, and like that little over the horizon MP3 that comes stock on all Galaxy phones. It's like a 3 megabyte MP3 file. I got some of those that are like 5 gigs, so I know that they've uh, change the file. They leave it named over the horizon MP3, but it's really their virtual machines and everything that they got on it hosted on my device. And there's some way into that, but I've got those files, and all of that stuff's going to be going through at some point, and it's going to help if all of you guys start getting your files too. So, um, I, not to try to overdo some promotions or whatever, but if you're looking for some external storage type ideas and things that can help you, I got an Amazon store with it's amazon.com/shop/targeted individual. And that's just the ones that I buy usually. I'll post them for you guys to check out. But you could probably get them at Walmart or anywhere else, but get you like an external storage. You can even get a memory card. You can get like a 1 terabyte memory card, and then just export all your files and like try to get their files because their files are on your devices. You want their stuff, you want your stuff, you want to get all the files you can, but you want it offline. If it's not offline, you don't really have it. You're looking at it, but they can just delete it or corrupt it or anything else. And I've dealt with that so many times that um, yeah, I haven't deleted any comments. I do have my device open right here, watching myself do this. I was gonna sit here and do comments, but um, I've just been trying to get all of this information out there, because a lot of people are hitting me up on a daily, new people, And another thing that I want to mention is it's slipping my mind. Oh, like my whole thing, I feel like my channel's suppressed. Okay, my YouTube channel, and I know I get a lot of plays and a lot of stuff, but over the years, right, I was getting the same amount of plays with 1,500 subscribers. Now it's more like 7,500 subscribers. And I feel like I can talk about things a lot better than I used to be able to because I was new at even talking about it and trying to be talking publicly or whatever. And so now I'm much more relaxed and I can explain things a lot better. And I got a lot more subscribers and more people come to me every day for all this stuff. And my views ain't going nowhere. It's like it's silly, and I know that they're doing something to suppress this. And it don't matter if I got, you know, 1,000 subscribers or 7,000 subscribers. It don't matter if I got 1,000 videos or 7,000 videos. I always get the same views. Like they cap it off at a certain amount. It's like I don't know if it's YouTube or if it's yeah. I'm definitely still trading stocks. Alibaba, I'm kind of disappointed with that, but I know it's very sketchy with the whole thing with China right now. But um, I believe that Alibaba is going to be a big play. I'm watching it go down and go down. Um, that on track is one that I was looking at, and because it went down a lot, they lost some contracts, so it went down a lot. So, but I believe they might start coming back up. Um, you know, Amazon and some of the more safer ones like Google and Amazon and Apple are always good. But I'm really getting into the options thing a lot more. Um, Not so much buying options. I lost a bunch of money buying options, but um, um, I'm gonna check that. I'm gonna check that email as soon as I get off of here. So 5G. Okay, let me tell you about 5G. Okay, I think honestly, this is just my opinion. I've really not done any research. I'm just going off of what I could see that's happening in real life. This neural monitoring thing has been running rampant since way before 5G or 4G, even or 3G. This thing's been running rampant. Okay, they can use the Earth's electromagnetic field as the infrastructure. Okay, so they got satellites broadcasting, thousands of them, all around orbiting the Earth, and then the Earth's electromagnetic field that flows around the Earth is the infrastructure. It is this energy field that they use just as if like cell phones use towers. I call your cell phone, it goes from my cell phone, tower, 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 your cell phone. Okay. But neural monitoring doesn't use any towers or anything else. It uses this consistent energy field that is everywhere, pre existing naturally. And so it's a very uh, scandalous thing for big business, big business to be stepping us into this whole thing. Like, oh well, let's build these towers and make trillions of dollars and over, and walk everybody into this real slowly. We'll get them for every step along the way. It's like, oh, okay. So, like for example, okay, say say I could go 10 miles per hour, okay, but then I discovered a way to go 100 miles per hour. Okay, but rather than all of a sudden sell the 100-mile-per-hour technology, I would sell a 15-mile-per-hour technology, and then next year I'd sell a 20-mile-per-hour technology, and the year after that a 25, and a 30 after that. Meanwhile, I'm flying 100 miles per hour all the time because that's what's available for me because I know about that, but I want to make all the money, so I'm gonna walk you into it rather than just one time make a big jump to this new 100-mile-per-hour technology where I'll just sell to everybody, and then I missed out on the boat for the 15 and the 20 and the 25. So they're stepping us up. Okay, but this whole cell phone towers and 5G, even all of this stuff it's pointless. It's a crock of BS, okay? Because neural monitoring technology and EMF broadcast, satellite broadcast technology, it's way beyond 5G or any other G that we've been having. And they've been had this. And I think all of this started with Sputnik, in the space race to get these satellites up in the 50s between Russia and the United States. And then China joined in with that. And now all of the big space countries are probably the ones running the show because they have neural monitoring for the longest. All right, and then everybody else wants to get in on it now, but they know who's terrorists. They know who stole the little girl from abducted the little girl. They know who killed this person or that person. Um, they know everything that's going on. You know, all the scandals are really uncovered already. But to come out and say that, you'd have to admit you had neural monitoring, EMF broadcast technology. It's just society, the whole thing, it's a scandal. And the world governments and world leaders and the elites or new world orders or whomever is running this thing, it is a scandal against the masses of people. And there's definitely a huge revolution coming. And so I don't know what's going to happen. And it's scary. It is scary. But I can tell you now that these gang stalkers, they're using this technology because they're in a position of power. Um, they're a big part of the problem. And a lot of people should be thinking more about trying to save the world or something like that. Um, I wouldn't be surprised if I was the one about to get assassinated, just because of all the, I think my channel's suppressed, okay, and so it's only a certain amount of people that are starting to know about this because I know what I'm talking about. I know how this works, and I know how gang stalkers operate. And I'm telling a lot of you guys, really, all these things I'm talking about with computer stuff and learning all this stuff, these are things that are illegal now in the court systems and judicial systems. Even though gang stalkers are making a mockery of it all, they can't deny us from our rights. And if somebody's doing things and all this account theft and theft of services and computer trespass and identity fraud and all this different stuff that's going on and stealing my files and everything. It's all criminal. And it's criminal right now without modifying any laws for neural monitoring or mind control or having a revolution or anything else. Those they can go to jail for that now. And so that's the number one avenue that we need to be taking because you can see that these things are happening. I've proved it on my channel many times over the years. You can see that those things are happening. So, and all of you guys will be able to find out the same stuff on on your devices. And so network protocols. Um, it's probably not the worst idea to start to learn about light spectrums and light frequencies and full spectrum photographies and like infrared thermal cameras and all of these type of things because broadcast is broadcast, and I don't think that there's any way to mask these waves if you're looking at it through something that can see waves. So full spectrum and like thermal imaging cameras, and I'm not talking about an app you can download. I'm talking about the $1,500 thing and the $5,000 thing that really sees it. That's a scientific instrument and it can see it. And so we should be able to see a lot of things going on with that. Everything's in plain sight. They broadcast, sure, like right here, right now. There's a EMF broadcast floating across here. That's probably an advertisement for these guys that are on my channel. I'm sure that there is, and there is on every picture you take. It's all an advertisement. Every video you make, every picture you take, especially when you post that stuff up, it's an advertisement for these gang stalkers. So we could start to learn how to use technology to isolate those frequencies or to expose those spectrums. And so that's probably the number two way, might be the number one way. But as far as the hacking, computer programming, and network protocol, and then the light spectrums, and those type of things. Okay, those are the things that we have to start to look into because that's the pathway, because that's really what's going on. And so that's what we need to know about. If the gang stalkers are doing it and they're using it, then we need to know about that kind of thing, because if we learn everything about what they do, then we'll either be able to do it or stop them from doing it, one or the other. And it's starting to be ridiculous. There's too much obvious evidence. This stuff can burn off clouds, and it's all over the sky and in every picture everywhere, and it's in all the source code of everything. And hey, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. I'm gonna look into that. I'm gonna look into that document. Um, yeah, all of that stuff is so important. Um, Psychological responses. I meant to talk about this the other day. I meant to talk about this because it was one of them was saying something to me, okay, and it's like they use tones, okay. So you might have a reaction to a certain tone, like um, like a dog or like a child or something. Parents like, eh, right? And you're like, I didn't do it, whatever. People have those. People have those type of things, and your neurological responses to those type of things are very notable for somebody that has access to your neurological control panel. So they can take whatever your responses are, and then they know basically how all humans respond to certain things, or and then we vary independently, probably, but we all have a basic, probably a similar reaction to certain tones and different things like that. And then it probably varies some between different people, but overall in general, it's probably a pretty good standard of things. Okay. So they start to use those type of things, and it's basically a neurological assault, because they're always saying, Kevin, they use this tone. They try to use this tone with me. And I'm like, and it's then became this thing where I'm like, it makes me angry rather than feel like I'm in trouble, because the idea is to make me feel like I'm in trouble, because that's the response, the expected response, due to all of the algorithms of whatever, and they have access to all this stuff. The expected response would be a certain thing. So, but with me, it becomes different, because they wear it out. These guys that I'm dealing with, they wear out everything. And so when they do something like that, it just upsets me. I'm angry now. I'm like, who do you think you are? Like, you ain't my daddy. Like, come say it in my face, type of thing. Like, stop talking to me in your little tones. And I wanted to talk about how different tones and different things can provoke a certain reaction from you emotionally, um, and how they would have access to those, to typical results through like algorithms and different things, and they have access to all kind of stuff like that. Um, oh, hang on, I lost. I didn't see that comment before it went away. Um, so anyway, guys, those are the things that are important. I see it's still a bunch of you guys on here, but I kind of been talking about everything. I'm about to figure out what's going on with all my people are tripping out, man, because like my whole city's going crazy, man, because there's this huge music festival, our hometown music festival, Imagine, and it got canceled. They canceled it today, um, and it starts tomorrow. Okay, and it's a 4-day music festival, camping and everything, with like probably 30 to 50,000 people, and it's like people flying in from everywhere. And they canceled it like 3 hours ago due to the weather. I woke up and got a phone call, and this girl I know, and she's crying about the music festival is canceled, and I'm like, no, no way, I can't believe it, because it starts in the morning. So and I had a 4-day pass and like 4-day camping and like the pre-party and all the extra stuff. Like, and they canceled it last year for Corona, and now they canceled it this year. Uh, so yeah, they canceled Imagine a couple hours ago for this hurricane. So everybody's tripping out, man. People touching down all over the city, airports and hotels and everything, and thousands of people. And it was going to be in Atlanta. It was at this Chattahoochee Hills place in Atlanta. And I don't talk about where I'm going and things like that, because uh, I got too many enemies these days. Gang stalkers really know, but um, anyway, is since it's canceled, I'll just tell you that was my plans. We was all going. Being a big group of people, we were all going, and everybody was going. It's been the big topic, and I got all my stuff ready, tents and the canopies and time off work and everything we needed, and we all were ready, and we were leaving in the morning, and they just canceled it a little while ago, and it's a disaster. So, um, yeah, you don't have to kill anyone. I don't. That's not my plan, is to kill anybody. I don't want to kill anybody. I think that there's some people that need to be responsible for the things that are going on. This is terrorism, and it's horrible. And you know, I can't let them get away with that, and I can't let them walk away and go do it to somebody else. I'm too far in, and I may end up paying the price with my life, even. I could be assassinated or anything. But I feel like there's too many people that are starting to know what's going on. And there's too many people that know about my situation. And there's too many people that know everything. And so it'd probably be a problem if I did get assassinated by the government or something. I'm sure they want me to shut up. But the problem is, for them and for everybody else, it's, if I do shut up, or if they do get rid of me, there's a lot more of me that are coming right behind me, because I've made it very clear and public what's happening, and time is going to tell that I'm being honest, and that it is the real truth, and this is really what's happening, because you could see consistently thousands of us are having the exact same circumstances. And when you start to dig into your computer stuff, you're going to see that everything that I've told you is the same, man. Your stuff is the same, and it's how they operate. So that's why we have to start learning those things. Um, anyway, I hate to. That's 40 people on here. I appreciate. Hey, look, I really appreciate all of you guys, uh, all the people that have donated, all the people that watch my videos every day, people that joined all the groups on Facebook. You know, I got all the pages. I appreciate all of that, and I'm still putting more products all the time on emfbroadcast.com, and I'm gonna convert it over into not just a store, but it's gonna be right now it's just more like the merch associated with my channels and stuff. But it's gonna end up being like a resource, because I'm working on expanding the site and making it more than just a retail shop. So it's gonna be something where uh, people can go on like forums and talk about everything. And I'll have different. I got several different channels, and I'm gonna start having other people that do videos and more interviews. And then I want to start having different people. I know some people that are like, I know some targeted people, and then I know some other people that are not targeted. But I know some very well off people that are very well educated, and some of them are kind of famous. And so I'm gonna start to try to put together like life coaching things and different, just a whole lot of stuff that I want to converge all into emfbroadcast.com as this thing grows. But I work full time, and then I make really nothing off of YouTube and all my websites and pages and everything, man. Um, I'd be lucky to clear $1 and $2 a day off of all that stuff, and I put in a lot. So, but it's okay, because I that's not why I do it. But somebody recently mentioned, seemed like you're just doing this for the money, and I'm like, I've like wrote this thing out to him, like, look how it comes out to $1.60 a day, but I could easily go get a second job and probably work less and make a whole lot more money, but that's not what I want to do. I like doing this. I like to talk to all of you guys, and I like to give these gang stalkers hell. So I'm not definitely not doing it for the money, but it's gonna turn into a whole lot more things, and I'm working on it all the time. So I appreciate all of you guys, all the support and everything else. Um, so there's a lot of you watching now. I hate to end it, but it's been 67 minutes. So um, thank you for everything. I appreciate you guys watching. Leave me some comments. You can hit me up. You can email me. It's email Kev. You got to include the email part. Email kevinchristian@gmail.com. And you can reach me through there, or you can reach me through Messenger, or you can just hit the comments on here on any of my videos. So I thank you guys so much for everything. And that's about it. So I'll see you on the next one.